Hey, Spuddies, Potomac Whiskey here, and welcome to Age of Abundance Attempt 2. Progress towards Early Empire, a whole bunch of techs get progressed right off the bat. Now, if you saw my last video where I did this challenge, I believe it took me 145 turns to complete it. Now, we're going to be coming into this one with a slightly different set of strategies, and I believe I'm only playing with UI mods. There's nothing here that affects gameplay. I will scroll through it just in case anyone can catch me with a mod changing gameplay. That I just don't see in here. Select Natural Wonders ++. I don't think that that's a map generation changer. Okay. So, and since this map is already generated, shouldn't affect things. Now, last time I went for an exploration opener. I do think it's still worth it to explore. There are no barbarians, though. And I think we're going to plan a slightly different empire. So I do think I like the pair of Acropolis, the pair of Acropoli here. Now, Acropoli get adjacency from wonders, districts, and city centers. So I think there is something to be said for a campus in here. And rather than going for faith, although I have no problem with getting some faith for tourism, we're going to be primarily focusing on great work tourism. Now, we're also going to be chopping a lot more because we need to accelerate. Let's start with our government. We have monarchy available, and I do think monarchy is a perfectly viable government to go for in a tourism game. My opening policies are going to be 50% production towards settlers, serfdom for the extra 2 builder charges, because our plan is to get a lot of settlers out nice and early. We're also going to take urban planning for the little bit of production. I think survey is perfectly reasonable to take, as is retainers for cities with a garrison. We're going to take diplomatic league, so the first envoy be sent to a city-state counts as 2. We're not going to take any great people things. Instead, we're going to take charismatic leader for a better envoy production, especially because we're a monarchy, because making relationships with these guys will be important. Trade routes are going to be a much more important thing for me this game. So let's have a look at the great merchants. None of these guys really give tourism until the modern era. I mean, look, we're in the medieval era. So it's a question. Do I want to go for the harbor or the commercial hub? Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how my strategy is going to differ from the previous game. In this game, our goal is going to be to get a settlement on each island to try and get trade routes with all 7 of the other players. We're not going to go for as much faith, and we're not going to go for as much national park tourism. We're definitely going to try to settle more cities sooner, and we're going to harvest basically every tile in my empire. I think the opening move here will be to place the Acropolis. We will delete that map tag. To wait for the campus tile. I could build the Diplo Quarter here, +1 culture. The Diplo Quarter would make my internal trade routes better, which I think is important. We are going to be using internal trade routes early, so I'm going to get started on the Diplo Quarter right there. I'm going to go ahead and buy this tile to place the campus, but we're going to work on the Diplo Quarter first. I'm going to gold purchase a settler in here. I will save this trader. I'm going to buy myself 2 scouts, 1, 2. I'm also going to quickly buy a builder to get us started in here. And then I will probably look to buy another settler in the near future. I do think the Acropolis is a reasonable build here, but we're going to get started on builders. We need to start improving our tiles. But maybe getting the Acropolis up first could be good, because we do already have a builder. I think getting the Acropolis down is good, because it does start with I think getting these districts finished is important before we start getting builders. The Forbidden City would be nice, but I don't think I can justify going for it. I don't think I need cartography. I'm going to go for mass production, because I may go for harbors this game. We're going to go straight for humanism to have access to the art museums and stuff like that. While I do in theory like the idea of Merchant Republic, I actually kind of prefer monarchy here for a tourism game. I do think Merchant Republic is like ever so slightly more optimal, but it's not optimal enough for me to divert over here for a large period of time. So this scout is going to go south to explore our island, and this scout's going to go north to meet Mogadishu. And we will begin the chopping. We'll harvest the deer. Boom. That will finish the diplomatic quarter, getting us an envoy. We're going to overflow that into an Acropolis, and the next chop will finish the campus. This settler is going to head north. Okay, we switch over to the campus, and we chop again. That'll be a 1 turn on the campus. And because we chopped out the amphitheater, or rather the Acropolis, we're now generating great people points and a decent amount of extra yield, which is quite nice. We have met Mogadishu. We are the first to meet them. They want a trade route. We can send them a trade route or an internal. I do think the trade route is slightly better. It's a 30-turn trade route for 5 gold per turn. That will help out our gold income in the early game. We're going to chop here to finish the Acropolis, and we will overflow into another builder. I've got 8 envoys. I don't want to actually spend them. We have finished the campus, and because the library is an earlier era tech building, we actually start with a library, which does give us a nice boost to our science income. We're now going to get started on settlers, and we're going to send a builder over to the city of Athens to keep chopping out those settlers, and also just improving the tiles. I do want to keep in mind my long-term plans. I am going to want seaside resorts. I could harvest the wheat here to boost the city's population and start building that harbor sooner, but I think just putting down a mine or 2 will help the city out quite a bit. So, phase 1 of this plan is to get all the cities settled. So we'll knock out a settler here. I believe my plan was to settle on this tile right there. Could also settle on the bananas. I could do more cities than I did in the last game. And honestly, this might be the kind of game where the more cities I get, the better. So that might be the plan. Nice, there's a tribal village. We got a free builder out of that. Let's go get this online. You pop up there. You're heading this way, you go there. You grab that. Probably should have kept you going, honestly, but you know, it is what it is. We'll drop another mine in here. Now you've got great production, but poor growth, which means we should totally harvest the wheat and a other tile. Let's harvest this for another settler. So that's 2 settlers heading north, one of whom is going to settle on this iron. There will be a city on the iron, a city here, of course. And then the best place for the Acropolis is right there, potentially a harbor. You know, we can figure all that out depending on the situation. City of Corinth, I would love to work on, you know, there's a nice harbor right here, nice Acropolis, trade route culture. We are going to need to get science from somewhere. That's something we'll need to discuss. Let's keep going for those settlers. We'll need to chop them out. Go ahead and put a couple turns into a builder for me. I am actually going to buy myself a galley here because I think finding those city-states was useful. Since I didn't quite buy the galley as soon as I did in the other game. Right, 100 faith, that's nice for the, Pantheon. We're going to harvest here, and that should boost us to 4 pop, so we can place the harbor and then improve these 2 fishing tiles, which will allow us to get a lot of growth in this city. Right, pastures are probably worth improving. This looks like a reasonable setup. It doesn't have very good production, but it does at least have 2 chops. 1, 2. And it's an extra city. I think I'm going to settle a city here. And this will be an Acropolis. This could be a harbor. This could be a harbor or a commercial hub city, honestly. And I think it'll be a commercial hub city, as will the capital eventually. We could go for production from fishing boats. I mean, it would assist our economic development a lot, especially since we're potentially going for shipyards first. If we are going for more of a coastal economy, look, if we're going to go all in on the coastal economy, I think I'll try that this time. I'm going to go straight for my Acropolises where I can, but otherwise we'll work on other things. And I guess fishing boat Pantheon is fine here. We're going for a naval grease, which doesn't sound pleasant. How's your naval grease going? Ugh. All right, this guy has a promotion. We'll take faster movement in woods. We'll do a little scouting around, and then we'll head down to the tundra to the south. Get that other pasture online. So we've got good growth tiles in Athens to get us back up to pop, because we have dropped down 2 population from building settlers. And that's obviously not an ideal long-term thing. Right, drop the fishing boat. You come around this way. Get your harbor and lighthouse up, I think, is the goal, because that will give us significant returns on investment in terms of growth for this city and gold. Go ahead and settle here. Start working on a builder. Go ahead and chop here to get this settler out. If I settle here, it's a nice harbor and a nice Acropolis. Looking pretty good on that front. I could also settle a city right here and drop the Acropolis right there. 1, 2, 3. And that potentially leaves open the south. I'm going to take the time to overflow into a builder, and then we'll go back for another settler in the capital. Let's harvest for gold, and then let's buy that tile to chop it. Improve another fishing tile. Let's make sure we work those fishing tiles, because they basically made the city actually food even. Okay, harvest that for gold. You go there. And why don't you pop down to Mycenae for some chopping too? All of the chopping. I'm going to send you up here to help out this fishing city, Sparta, as it were. Let's found a city here, Rhodes. And I would go as far as to say 1, 2, 3. We might get another city down here in the south for another Acropolis. We do want to pick up cartography now to start thinking about settling other islands and also meeting other players. Go ahead and get to work on your Acropolis. Excellent. And the reason we want to build these Acropolises is to start earning these great rider points early. And the culture as well is going to be really, really useful. Okay. Chop, 1 turn on that settler. Excellent. And then chop, overflow through the Acropolis into a builder. Builders and settlers are the thing that's going to define the game for us, and it's going to be the thing that wins us the game. We've now entered into the Renaissance era. We did finish humanism, so things like the Art Museum and the Archaeological Museum are now viable. Let's go for diplomatic service to get spies, as well as the Chancery building. 2 more settlers for the mainland. One of them just came out, so we'll get the next one going. The city of Mycenae doesn't have really good viable tiles, but that's okay. More builders. It's a careful balancing act that we have to do between getting builders. It's an honor to meet you. We would love to sample your hospitality. We're going to immediately send a delegation to Rome. We're going to make a deal. It's open borders mutually. Yeah, there's a careful balance you have to do between like how many of each thing you get, how many builders you get, how much do you increase your culture. Nice fishing boat tile. These fishing boat tiles are going to be super useful for us in making our land quality increase. There's mass production. We have access to the shipyard. Let's have a quick look at our policies. Meritocracy is starting to look quite good. instead of urban planning. I think we may switch that in. I don't know if it's worth it to pay the money to switch government right now, but it is something that we may switch to. I'm going to crank out another builder out of Corinth. Here, I'm going to chop for that builder and send it over to Rhodes. And then I'd like to overflow into a trader and see if we can't maybe chop into that as well. Okay, nice one. My scout got a promotion. I'm going to move him a tile and get him the woods and rainforest. And I'm going to send him back into the water because there's probably tribal villages along the ocean as well. Well, along the coast, rather. There's Zanzibar. We are going to give an envoy to Zanzibar. This will get us the amenities as well as exploration information of Zanzibar. Let's chop here. I'll wait a turn on this chop and then I'll harvest the bananas and then chop and follow that through into the thing. I guess in theory, I could place the harbor this turn. Keep that going. Drop a fishing boat. Lovely. Those are two fantastic 3 food, 1 production tiles. Really, really great tiles. Okay, so we harvest the bananas. Then we chop here. We overflow into the Acropolis. Boom. And now we've quickly maneuvered ourselves into a great position. We're going to build fishing boat. That's going to give us growth and production baseline for the city. And then you're going to start the harvesting spree. So I don't know how many more builders I need, but I definitely should start getting things like my amphitheaters online. 100%. So I found the Congo's capital, which is nice. We're going to send him a delegation as well. We're going to get mutual open borders from him. And I'm going to see if he's willing to trade me a luxury, 220 gold. I'll take it. That will bring me up to 6 ecstatic cities, which is excellent. We've got to keep our cities happy. We did get the Acropolis in Corinth. Let's go for the harbor now. And we'll start chopping for that. Hold on to our envoys. We don't need to spend them. Do a little chop here. I'm going to steal another one of these hills to work. I might still steal 2 of them, actually. At least 3 hills in here seems good. In Mycenae, I think I'd like to buy this tile. I want to wait to chop because I'd like to chop out the harbor itself. Okay, let's chop out the harbor. We want to immediately go for the lighthouse for the food on the coast tiles. And then we'll send this builder down to improve those coast tiles. The food on the coast tiles will really help us grow the city and keep it happy and justify working these productive tiles. But also it'll lead to the shipyard. Actually, this city doesn't really need to grow. Instead, it needs to build a campus, which is exactly what we're going to do in here. But first, I guess we'll do the lighthouse. So our goal is to get as many pops as possible, working as high production tiles as possible. That's why the extra food and production from fishing tiles is actually super, super useful because it both increases the food production, meaning we grow more population. It increases the housing, meaning we can grow more population. And it increases the production, which is our main objective, which is to get as much production as possible in our cities. I'm going to quickly... I can't quite afford that tile, never mind. We really want to get to colonialism. Oh no, that doesn't work in this game. Colonialism doesn't give fishing boat improvements. What do fishing boats get improved by then? They don't get production in this version of the game. That's okay. What do shipyards do again? Bonus production equal to the adjacency bonus of the harbor. That is more important than I thought then. So getting those harbors up is going to be a big deal. Really, 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 really big deal. Acropolis finished in Rhodes. Let's place the harbor. Boom. And get started on that. We have started earning good Great Rider points. Chop. Move. Boom. So lighthouse completed. Let's get started on that shipyard. We definitely want harbor adjacency. Might seem like a lot of time to invest in a shipyard, but this is going to give us like 12 production per turn. So after like 20 turns, it basically pays for itself because we're going to triple that. Yeah, we're going to triple the +4 rather, once we get the harbor district adjacency card. Once more of our harbors are finished. So let's chop through the trader into the harbor. Now we could go for 5 gold per turn, or we could go for the Athens trade route for 24 turns, which is 4 food, 2 production. And that would not only allow us to grow, it would allow us to work more tiles, it would also speed up how quickly we can get the buildings in the harbor and thus benefit from it even sooner. All right, let's go ahead and plonk you down there. You're immediately going to get started on the Acropolis. It's really, really important. You will also get a harbor. The Acropolis first, I think, is the right move because we need that culture per turn. We're building an engine. That's our goal. We're building an engine. Looking fantastic in here. 3 people working these high food fishing tiles. And I'm going to be able to pop up here and break this forest for the Acropolis, potentially even the harbor. I think the harbor is actually more important in this city because with the harbor, we can build the Acropolis. But you can't do that the other way around. Okay, builder popped out of Argos. Let's go for the lighthouse and we're going to start chopping to get to that. Another fish boat down. 9 production in here is quite low, but we do have 3 hills we can improve. Another mine in there. Lovely. We'll also get this pasture up. Rhodes is looking great. It has a good combination of food and production. We found the Galapagos. What's this again? I forget. I think this is the Galapagos. Settler completed in Athens. This will be my final trader, my final settler. I guess in theory, I could settle here and here, but I think this is just better. So, gonna quickly grab the university because science is going to be harder for me to generate this game. But I'm going to grab myself probably a build. Well, here's the question. Do I need the science right now? No, but I need to be passively generating a decent amount of science throughout the game. And it might be good that this city can get me a builder. It does have tiles it'll need to improve. So we'll quickly grab that builder. Let's chop in here. That's 5 turns off you. And that's our goal, is just to shave as many turns off of getting our shipyards up as possible. I will want something adjacent to this shipyard. Potentially a campus, potentially a commercial hub. I think the campus is the play, or like a holy site. That's +1 adjacency to both. Commercial hub might be the play. I'm probably going to put a campus there. The reason I'm going to put a campus there is because the city needs a campus. And while this isn't the greatest campus ever, it will generate me a little bit of science, and it'll give me +1 adjacency that will get tripled on this shipyard, with very least doubled. So there's cartography. I'm going to bring back a galley to get turned into a caravel. And I'm going to quickly research printing. Harbor is completed. Let's get to work on that harbor, naturally. And then we'll go chop the jungle there. You're chopping there will overflow through to the lighthouse. And you're chopping here to overflow into a harbor. And then you're going to harvest to overflow into a lighthouse. We've got so many trade routes now, but also we got a lot of cash. All right, let's harvest the rainforest in here. It's another 4 turns off that shipyard. And I'm going to put a mine on this tile temporarily just to speed up how quickly we can get all these tiles. I'm also going to pop in here and buy this chop. Put a mine right there. You move up this way. Chop here to finish the lighthouse. Get started on that shipyard. What can we sell? Sell that. Buy the forest. That'll significantly speed up the shipyard. Let's go ahead and chop here to finish the Acropolis. Start on a builder with the overflow. Still don't need to send any envoys anywhere. You go down and improve those dies. You're going to put a mine right there to shave turns off the lighthouse. We met Arabia. It's an honor to meet you. Let's send him an resident embassy as well as establish open borders. I would like to establish resident embassy with basically everyone on the map, actually. So at mercantilism, we're going to drop urban planning. I'm going to plug in meritocracy. I think this is more valuable. I think I'm done with colonization. So is there a better card? I think we don't need diplomatic league for now, so we can take that out. Naval infrastructure is like hardcore necessary, and aesthetics is super useful right now. So that's actually, we just got 30 extra culture and 17 extra gold. We're still getting builder charge boosts. So I'm pretty happy with that. We're up to 87 culture right now. We probably could have done that a little bit earlier. Let's quickly grab the enlightenment. Might be good to grab civil engineering actually for that builder production boost. Make my economy slightly more efficient. All right, go ahead and chop that. That's the shipyard down to 3 turns. Excellent. You settle right there and get the Acropolis. Right, we finished a builder. Drop a mine for that city. Don't know if we need the watermill. Definitely could make use of another scout or 2. I'm going to build 2 more scouts and put them on auto explore. I don't know if that's the best use of a scout, but it is a use of a scout. We're going to chop through to the shipyard here. 23 turns on that. Now, we're not generating any tourism yet, but our goal isn't yet to generate tourism. Now, you were trading with Mogadishu, but I don't think that trade route's as important anymore. I think your trade is far more important if we move this trader to Sparta and send it to Athens. Let's go ahead and drop a plantation on this tile. Good. Put a mine right there. Another tribal village. This is exactly what we were looking for. We've completed the shipyard in Argos. I'm going to go ahead and build the caravel. Hold on. Do I need the shipyard card? I'm going to quickly research exploration for press gangs before I get that, so I will take the time to build my campus, getting me slightly more adjacency on this. Drop a mine right there. Excellent. Go auto explore. I know auto explore isn't very efficient. I just don't feel like microing, if I'm going to be honest. I do want you to trade with Athens. That will shave 2 turns off this, and you've got a super huge surplus food growth, which is excellent. Our yields are going a little insane right now. Reformed Church. Love to see it. Okay, we popped out 2 scouts. Let's grab that university. It's a 10% science boost across my empire. You get to work on that shipyard with 24 turns. You're going to become a caravel. Excellent. Found a deleted city. Kind of an interesting thing. Found Yosemite as well. Builder completed in here. Let's get the fishing boat tiles. Auto explore with the caravel. They will eventually find the things that we need them to find. They did find Mohenjo-Daro, so we'll have to change around our government slightly in a bit. You're going to go ahead and take the Alpine promotion as well. We have mapped Bandar Brunei. I'm going to put 2 more envoys into Bandar Brunei, which is fantastic. Pop down a little fishing boat right there. There's Merchant Republic. So I definitely want to plug in press gangs. I'm going to drop survey and plug in press gangs. I also need to start taking advantage of retainers if I can. Boom. So with press gang completed, in here I just finished the campus. I can crack out a caravel in 5 turns, and getting a second caravel would be nice. We are going to pop back over for civil engineering. All right, shipyard completed in Rhodes. Definitely could go for the campus in here to make this harbour better and get that trickle of science. Think we will. I do need to start building my amphitheaters and stuff to start getting those great people points, but I think getting science first is better. I don't know if I'm going to get universities in some of these cities, but at the very least, popping down the campus is going to be part of my play. Okay, there's printing, which now doubles the tourism from Great Works of Writing, so I should start looking into generating Great Works of Writing. We're getting close to that point. And how we're going to do that is going to be very, very interesting. But basically, I'm going to beeline radio now. I'm just going to click up here, and then immediately after that, go for computers, and then immediately after that, go for steel. What era is it now? I don't think I care. I think we just go radio into computers, into steel, and one of the most important things we do is we make sure we plan for seaside resorts. Now that will require some late game reworking of tiles, but super, super worth it. Anywhere that I plant a lumber mill is where I need to replant later on in the game. I also need to build the Cristo Redentor, so we'll see what we can do about that. In Mycenae, I think I will buy this tile and chop it to shave 10 turns off of the shipyard. Shipyard in Corinth is completed. I think it's pretty natural to go for the 5-turn campus. That's going to be a decent boost to our science. I don't think we want to chop in Knossos yet. I will put a mine down though for Nut City. All right, let's double check our agreements. Let's send delegations to everyone, get open borders with everyone. Embassy with you, open borders with you. Excellent. So we entered into the industrial era. We did just get civil engineering, which means I can plug in public works. I don't think I need skyscrapers just yet. That might be something we look into when we go for the Cristo Redentor. I think the next move is to go for natural history. And I think the next move is to start getting our amphitheaters up and start generating that tourism. Okay, we completed the campus in here. Let's get that amphitheater up. The amphitheater is going to lash up like really, 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 really quick. Excellent. Amphitheater in here. Amphitheater in here. Let's change our government slightly. I'm going to pop out Public Works for a turn while we plug in Diplomatic League. I'm going to confirm that. I'm going to send an envoy to both of these city-states, and then I'm going to take them up to at least level 3. And then Mohenjo-Daro, because we get benefits from being suzerain, I'm going to go up even a higher level. And now we're up to a 25% suzerainty bonus from city-states, which is fantastic. A little greedy of us, for sure. We have met Peter. Let's go ahead and establish a resident embassy with him. We'll send him open borders. Let's see. You want to buy my luxuries. You want to sell me a luxury. Go ahead and harvest the food. And we'll use gold to accelerate these 2 smaller cities down here. Mostly when it comes to your harbor. Take a good few turns to build that. We met Egypt. It's an honor to meet you. So now that we're actually starting to meet everyone, we want to start generating tourism. So let's talk to Egypt. We're going to establish a resident embassy. We're going to make an open borders deal. We're going to pop in here. And we're going to buy their luxury. We want to keep people happy. I will grab an armada and 0 turns until growth. Okay, I need this city to grow. I'm going to take this tile so that it'll grow. And then I can pop down the commercial up. This city will need a couple farms. So I'll put a little farm triangle in for it. Okay, let's move this trader to Megara. This city needs help. A lot of my cities are coming online. There's the amphitheater. I think a combination of archaeological and art museums is fine. Let's go archaeological. Your Acropolis is now placed. It'll take you 4 turns. Your campus will probably not go there. Honestly, we'll see if we can get a seaside resort or 2. So not quite as much tourism from our land, but that's fine. All right, you hit 4 population. You can get started on your commercial hub. What we're going to do is we're going to chop through the watermill into a commercial hub for you. You're going to bounce in here and do that. Now I need to start thinking about where I settle my city for the trade routes. I need to settle a city on both continents. Right, you pop in there, turn him into an armada, go explore. That's a 9 gold market. We'll come back to that. First, let's get that amphitheater. Amphitheater. And the thing that we need after we do our amphitheaters, generally speaking, is to crank. See, you got your campus. Pop that little campus there for me. We need to crank Great People projects to get my writers. Writers are going to be my main source of tourism this game. And there is a very first writer. Pop you into the capital. There are other things we could build, and the great writer points per turn are useful. Let's go for archaeological museum in here. Corinth, that's 3 archaeological museums, which I think is enough. You'll go for the art museum in here, probably. Okay, I have the gold to purchase a settler here from Sparta. Probably going to settle it somewhere down like here on the cattle. You can chop here to finish the harbor. I'll use my gold to go lighthouse and then shipyard in the next turn, because that will help this city the most, is to let it jump past having to build shipyards. God, I love how much money you make in this kind of a build. Now, we do have access to the zoo, as well as the archaeologist. So certain cities we will be going for archaeologists. I think I'm going for at least 3 archaeologists. I don't know where the balance should lie between those. Now I really want to get the Cristo Redentor for the seaside resort. I also need a significant boost to my science. Our first artist is out, which is nice. Let's take over Vilnius and Bandar Brunei and Zanzibar. It's important that we keep those yields high. And maybe I should have gone for universities, but I should at least build the museums because they do give great people points. So we're generating 16 tourism per turn. We've started the clock, so to speak, which was the goal. And then we want to make use of clever empire building and multipliers. So let's take over Kumasi. Ooh, I also need to get my trade routes. My trade routes are meant to be for the international audience, though. Like, I need 3 for this island, and I need 4 for over here, which I think covers basically all the trade routes that I have available. Right, we got the campus finished here in Mycenae. Let's get those amphitheaters up. Archaeological museum finished here. Let's get the archaeologist. All about cranking. All right, let's buy these spare luxuries for raw gold. I'm going to keep our happiness as high as we can within reason. Amphitheater pop up here in Sparta. Oh, you know what? It actually would be a good idea for me to pick up conservation because I can improve my empire's productivity with that. So I think that is the next step for me. With a few builders, I could significantly improve my productivity with conservation. Right, nice. We got amphitheater in Knossos. I'm just going to go ahead and buy the art museum in here, and I will buy the shipyard down there soon. I thought I'd already done that. Whoops. So I can get that guy working. And we will start making builders in here. Going to put an envoy into Nan Madol. I definitely need to get the consulate and chancery in my capital to get those extra influence points. Amphitheater done in Megara. Let's get the art museum. I can buy the shipyard in here. That gave me a huge boost to my production. It's eight production from that shipyard. It's massive. I think this is the place I want to settle. It's not a bad spot to settle right here. It has an acropolis. It has a city. It has a harbor. Yep. We'll settle right here and we'll start buying trade routes in this place. We start trading internationally for the international bonuses. Apologies, I will look elsewhere in future. I'm not going to look elsewhere in future because using my excessive amounts of gold to settle along these coastlines to pick up extra seaside resorts is actually part of my strategy. There are particular locations like over here where there's actually a really nice potential for seaside resortage, particularly if I can get the Eiffel Tower in a reasonable amount of time. Right, archaeological museum done, which means we go straight for the archaeologist. We are now in the modern era. We finished conservation, which does mean builders are the thing we need. I'm going to take out Diplomatic League and I'm going to plug in public works. It would be nice to have liberalism, but I don't think I actually need this culture anymore. It's too much culture. I'm going to overproduce culture. So perhaps the amenities would be better. And similarly, maybe the gold would be better, or at the very least, a split of gold, science, culture, and faith might be better to kind of diversify my economy, because I think I'm overproducing culture. We're too good at producing culture. And by that, I don't mean it's a bad thing that we're producing culture. It's more so that we're overproducing it in the sense that we don't need that much. And that we could put that same energy into somewhere else and potentially win faster. And so that's what I'm going to do. I will grab opera and ballet for the 2 envoys. Scorched Earth for the 2 envoys. No, we want to start building the Cristo Redentor as soon as we can. And honestly, we kind of want Filippo Brunelleschi as well, which probably means industrial zone in the capital so that we can work industrial zone projects. Amphitheater done here. Let's get the art museum. We're going to redirect this trade route over here and we're going to buy another one. We need 3, ideally. 3 minimum, really. Amphitheater completed in here. Let's do art museum. Now, in terms of gold, Mabanza Congo is the place to trade with. I have no idea how you're reaching Cairo. I'm not even going to question it at this point. You should not be reaching Cairo. We are going to trade with Rome. And then next turn, I'll buy another trader and hopefully trade with France. Okay, we got the art museum in Rhodes, which means we can now start going back to buy builders. I think settling this cotton right here makes a lot of sense, as does potentially settling over here, as does potentially settling here. Okay, consulate completed. Let's go for that chancery. Builder completed over here. I guess there's nothing wrong with chopping out another builder. Boosh. We can start the great planting. These tiles won't be amazing, okay? It's a 1-2 tile, right? Not the important point, though. I will put 3 envoys into Amsterdam because it's a huge boost to our gold. But otherwise, I'm going to hold on to my envoys. Acropolis coming in Pharsalos. That's excellent. Let's get that amphitheater up. Recruit Horatio Nelson. Flanking bonus for all naval units. Archaeologist done in Argos. Let's see. Would 4 extra science significantly reduce the time? I think it would. We'll quickly go for that. And then we're going to do Theatre Square research project so we can fill up on Great Works really quick. Did anyone else recruit great writers? Nobody yet. We're currently top dog. All right, let's save up to buy another settler to start settling over here. Another settler popped out of South Sparta for that specific purpose. And the goal here is just to yoink. All right, there's the Cristo Redentor. We'll probably go for that in the capital when we get a chance. In theory, it's 1,000 production that we could chop out of a city. Could chop it out of this city. Let me have a think about that. Is that unhinged? It's a little bit unhinged, but it's also super, super good if you can chop out a wonder. Is there like a gigaforest somewhere? I don't see a gigaforest for us to chop it out. We may have to hard build that. It's a 61 turn build in my capital, but I will be able to get the industrial zone first. No, we'll think about it. Mass media is completed. Let's go to ideology. Now, this is the bonus that we want. The patronage of great people being 50% less gold. We can make huge use of that. And the bonus yield from district projects goes up by 30%. Very, very useful across all fronts. Let's quickly pop down a campus in here. You're getting me builders because that's your job right now. Let's take logistics to move our builders around a little bit more efficiently. I don't need that many more builders. We are going to trade with Leon. Boom. So now we're trading with 3 of the players on the map. We do want to talk to Brazil, Rome, Arabia, and France to get trade routes. So let's go France, open borders. Brazil, open borders. Arabia, boom, open borders. And Rome, boom, open borders. Tourism pumpage is going nicely. Excavate the artifact. I need to buy the archaeologist in the capital, but I have the gold income for that. There's industrialization. The +1 production from mines is going to really pump us along nicely. Dmitry Mendeleev. Let's have a quick look at the overview of scientists that are going. We definitely want Mary Leakey. So let's recruit him. Mary Leakey could be a game winner, actually, had I gone straight for her. There's chemistry boosted and economics. Congo and Rome declared war on me, but it's pointless. Could I go back a turn and declare friendships with them to prevent that? The reason I'm opting to rewind is because this is a challenge, and I wouldn't find it very interesting to start over because this war would slow down my victory. So I'm wondering if reloading and going back and fixing that is a viable move. Okay, sweet. There's industrialization. So let's talk to them. Friendship. This is just something I should have been doing. So lesson learned. Get your friendships in to prevent the possible wars. Having some issues. I need to save and reload. I think my mods got disabled because I reloaded. Ooh, interesting. Not the end of the world. I can play without them. It's just slightly more clicks. And, you know, like I played without these mods for years. So it's really just going back to old habits. It does mean I'm more likely to make mistakes, unfortunately. Because now I have to scan the map or diplomacy screen for relationship changes. It's much harder to do deals, much harder to buy luxuries, for example. Slightly annoying, but not the end of the world. Ugh, I forgot how much I relied on being able to see what tiles my cities were working through the citizen monitor hover over ability. Let's start working more theater square projects to get that up and running. There's mobilization. We can claim it. Oh god, and my great person screen is worse again. Ugh, I feel dirty playing with this version of Civ, man. Ew. You want to make a Civ player feel like an old man? Take away his mods. Good God, now I feel like I'm playing. Now this is the vanilla Civ experience. Let me tell you, I'm not a fan. I mean, I'm a fan. It's just, ain't what she used to be. All right, what are we looking at in terms of great writers? We're up to 2 great writers. No one else has recruited a great writer or a great artist, so we don't need to buy their works. We're up to 41 tourism per turn. Oh, I don't even get that nice tourism screen. Oh, it's the worst. Never reload when you're on this challenge. Okay. Campus is completed here in Megara. I think that means we can do some Theatre Square festivals. Harvest that artifacts. Renaissance. Mycenae is working a lot of coastal tiles, so it definitely needs productive, nice lumber mill tiles. Archaeologist, why don't you pop down there and grab that for me? And then work on a few Theatre Square festivals. You have a unit. Should we get the university? What are we at? We're at flight. It's a 4% increase over 10 turns. It might matter. It is also great people points towards Mary Leakey. Oof. We'll grab another artist. Industrial zone completed in the capital. Cristo Redentor is down to 49 turns. Let's purchase the workshop. Get started on the Cristo Redentor, and we will buy productive tiles, I think. Go down to 40 turns. We'll buy the... I have to sell my stuff. I have to sell my things manually. Do you know how cringe that is? I'm cringing right now. I can't even see my builder charges over their heads. Now that feels especially bad, man. Oh, and theming. I have to manually theme. Oh, and I don't have the nice culture screen. Oh no. Ugh. I'm starting to remember why I really like these UI mods. So I need to buy a, oh, nice. I need to buy a coal power plant and a archaeologist in the capital. Those are two things that need to come through. Oh, I don't even have the nice screen for this either. Ew. I do think Namadol is an important one. We'll take that. We're at 303 culture. If I do a refresh at 381, yeah. Namadol is a great one to keep. Trade with foreign cities. Suzerain. I'm going to found this city. Boom. Delete that pin. I think this is very clearly a harbor. +5 harbor. Why don't you get that harbor? I'm going to gold purchase a couple scouts in here to scout the island. I need to re-up my friendship and the open borders with you. Double check. Cleopatra open borders expired. If you're wondering where I'm looking, as I click through, I'm looking here. And if I see anything change, that means I know that my deal ran out. Lumber mill. Landscape. Harvest. We got a nice chalice. Go scoop this up. Apologies. I will look elsewhere in the future. Go ahead and auto explore. We will buy ourselves another scout, do another auto explore. We've got the art museum at Sparta, which is really, really nice. We're going to pop down here and do a couple of theater square projects. We're almost at Suffrage. We got the market in Knossos. Honestly, I think a campus here could be a big brain play. Let's do it. Harvest this. Artifacts from Saladin. Okay. We spread around our great works. We're making good tourism. 81 per turn. We have our first tourist in tow. We're chopping out nothing. Extract the artifact. Mbemba. So we got ourselves medieval Pericles, Renaissance Pericles, and medieval Mbemba. Start maybe looking to do some theming with all those. Right, there's suffrage. We'd switch to democracy. We definitely want economic union. We definitely want public works. We want Raj and charismatic leader at the very least. Probably not charismatic leader anymore. New Deal could be quite good. It's a lot of amenities. Let's see. Meritocracy is a fantastic card. It's just a lot of culture. Probably not necessary completely. I think I would like the 15% production towards all wonders. I'll go for Merchant Confederation. And I suppose I'll plug in Triangular Trade for the little bit of extra gold and faith that will come from that. Let's get our first, well, yeah, this is tourism right here. Now we really need to get to social media. In fact, we need to rush to social media for the tourism output boost from trade routes. We're down to 31 turns in here. Oh God. Just trade with St. Petersburg. I don't have the brain power to even calculate how I should even approach how to do trade routes without my trade route mod. Good God. I did shave 4 turns off the Christo at least. I definitely need more builders. So that'll be something I work on. What are we at in steam power? So yeah, we need radio. We're 2 techs away from radio. And then we get computers, which is 100% tourism boost. We got the amphitheater in here. We may as well get you. I don't think we really care about much else beyond the amphitheater in here. You can go ahead and build yourself some builders to improve this territory. That's something that we will need. Harvest these tiles. Pedro. Excavate artifact. This one's from Pedro as well. I think I got to get this one here too. Great musician. Plant that in the capital. Awesome. I think I'll take a Mogadishu. And we're going to pop in here, just queue up, not a trader. Well, honestly, the trader is fine too. It's going to quickly pop into a few places, plug in some builders because it's what we need. Oh, baby, you got what I need. Open borders with the Congo. It's 25% tourism boost. We're up to 7 tourists. We're 10% of the way there, technically speaking. University completed in the city. Go ahead and get me a builder and a trader and then work on the Theatre Square festivals. Seaside Resort into steel, into computers. Ugh, I have to do the old method of trade route, open borders, open borders, open borders, trade route and open borders, trade route and open borders. You have to do the old way, the crappy way, the way I hate doing it. You have to hover over a piece of the UI instead of it just being told to you. I do love how quickly we're getting our great works though. We're up to 100 tourism per turn. I think we might actually beat our previous game, which was 140 something. And I'm not really interested in competing against other players. I'm more interested in competing against myself here. So I don't really care how fast someone else did this because I'm not them. Because I'm not particularly interested in being the fastest player in the world. I'm interested in being the fastest that I can be. We are starting to see appeal appear in the places where we want it. But the Eiffel Tower will make sure that we actually have that benefit. There's the space race. Go ahead and explore. We'll grab you. we may as well plant. Drop me a landscape. Nice. There's a boosted, not boosted thing. Teleport this trader over to Eritrea. Eritrea. Oh yeah, the potential for a bunch of settlements in here is high, but we just need one over here potentially. We just care about the coastline really. We have the gold to pop in here and buy the factory. Boom. That'll shave a turn off that. And next turn we'll have the gold to potentially buy a couple more, another settler. Although we could buy the settler over here in Eritrea and move it. Probably not a terrible move. All right, so this city cannot reach Brazil as it stands, which I figured. So let's trade with Amsterdam for now to hopefully get a trading post that will enable trade with these other two soon. And in the meantime, we need to figure out a place to settle. Grab that settler, probably down in here so that we can trade with both. Well, at the very least, Brazil. Can't always do everything that you want, so you got to make some compromises. Weirdly enough, I've become used to the builder map mode 2. And I usually hate those things, but I've actually become dependent upon it because I noticed I'm not as efficiently improving my land. Nalmadol is just an absolute keeper. So we go from 449 to how much? Yeah, 531. Absolute keeper. We'll take over Vilnius as well. That should take us up another little chunk. Yeah, 560 tourism. I definitely feel like I underbuilt science again this run for an optimal win. Farm here and a farm here. Give us nice adjacency, nice farm diamond. Okay, we got professional sports, which means we do have access to potential stadiums. We're continuing to trade route. I'm waiting for this settler to settle and then I can get that one. Also, I need to buy an archaeologist in the capital. Or did I already do that? Let me check. There's radios. We have aluminium. Yeah, I built the. I purchased the archaeologist in the capital. I got universities. Now we can get broadcast centers. Now it's a question of do we want to go computers first or straight to steel? The multiplier on steel is insane. I think we go computers first though. That's 17 away, and then we go for steel. Yeah. So let's change how we're doing things in here. The capital doesn't need to change anything. You should definitely get the broadcast center though. You should definitely get the broadcast center. You should definitely get the broadcast center. You should get the university and then the broadcast center. You should get the university and then the broadcast center. You're already working on the broadcast center. You're building builders for me. That's excellent. So what if I plant a woods here? Slim chance that we could put a seaside resort there, but it would be amazing if we could. And so that means lumber mills all the way around and just builders being spammed out of the city as we redevelop this land. In the vision that we want. I'm going to settle right there. We'll plan some seaside resorts along this whole coastline. And behind the seaside resorts, we want lumber mills because it is the most efficient tile to have behind a seaside resort. All right, settlers in position. Possible city stuff going to be able to happen here. I got nearly 2,000 gold in the bank. Got 18 tourists. I guess you could lumber mill that tile. It does make this a viable tile. It is your job. Go ahead and repeat your trade routes. That's just important that we maintain these for tourism purposes. Open borders check. We lost open borders with Rome, so let's go ahead and do a quick check. Boom, boom, boom. So again, I'm looking right here on the menu, right? And I don't see the open border symbol, so I open borders with you. And then I very quickly go through the list of people. Pedro doesn't have them, so boom, boom. It's a 25% tourism bonus if you have open borders with a person. You don't have to give them open borders, but look, I just do anyway because it makes buying the open borders technically cheaper. And it's just an old habit, and it feels right for me to do that. To buy, it doesn't feel right to have unilateral open borders. It feels right to have omnidirectional open borders. All right, let's plunk this city right here on this marsh. We're going to grab this trader and teleport it over to Olympia. You're just going to go for builders for me. There's nothing really else I could do. Unless you can get an Acropolis. Yeah, you can't even get a good Acropolis. We won't want to. Whoa, don't worry about that. I know I settled too close. I know. I settled for a trade route. This is a trading post. My troops are merely passing by. I don't know why people are mad about me just existing near them. Right, trade route with Egypt. And then I will be able to get a builder and start a trade route with Brazil. And then I think I have a trade route with everyone. Trade route, no trade route, no trade route, trade route, trade route. Trade route. And then that means once I plug in social media, that's another 50% tourism boost. He offered me a research agreement, which was weird. Oh man, the old research agreements. I don't even know how they work anymore. But yeah, we definitely want to declare friendship with everyone, just to prevent them from declaring war on me. So what is the biggest, strongest unit I can buy? Probably pikemen. And I just want to make these cities look a little bit less tasty for possible attackers. So we have social media. We're going to go ahead and take out Triangular Trade. We're going to plug in online communities. We're also going to be switching from, well, I still want skyscrapers for now. I think we can drop meritocracy. We don't need the culture. And we're going to plug in satellite broadcasts for the extra tourism from Great Works of Music. So now we're getting a 75% boost to our trade route. So combined with open borders, we're getting 100% tourism against every player in the game. Now, once we have computers, that's actually multiplicative. So that means we'll be getting a total of a 400% tourism boost. So that's why I tried to go for tourism. And then Eiffel Tower will increase that, as will... Ooh, we can also start planting seaside resorts, which means it's builder time, actually. So let me go through my entire empire. And I should have had, if I was being optimal here, I would have had builders in position for this. Honestly, a bit of a failing that I don't. Yeah, builders are actually more important than broadcast centers even right now. Right. So let's go for opera and ballet for envoys. We'll take up cultural heritage for the envoys. And then beyond that, we will just finish out the tech tree for the Luls. I'm feeling pretty good about this one, though. I've got 2 envoys. I can't change the status of anything right now by spending them, however. So by building a bigger military, yeah, they were a little bit more happy to sign friendship deals with me. I'm going to chop here to get this builder out. No longer need this. I can pop over here and get a seaside resort. This does generate 4 base tourism. That'll be doubled once we have computers. Cultural heritage, we're going to go ahead and plug in this. I think it's better than... Economic Union will eventually go. I think it's better than satellite broadcasts right now, but not better than anything else. Let me have a look at my resources. So I'm missing coffee. Let's talk to Mavemba. What would it take? 35 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 550. He'll take 550 gold for that. Let's see here. Mercury. I'm missing Mercury, right? Yeah, I'm missing Mercury. 31 gold per turn for that. Fine, I'll just take the gold per turn deals. Missing Wales, 16 gold for that. Cocoa from Congo, is not willing to trade it. 600 gold for that. Those few extra amenities should push me back to a happier place. I also need to save up for more settlers. So the excellent thing about the Cristo Redentor is that it gives you 100% tourism from seaside resorts, which is fantastic. Seaside resort, right here, boom, level +4. We'll go ahead and get the lumber mill. We'll delete these 2 pins. Starting to see great dividend on this already. So 27 out of 82. I definitely feel like I'm doing better than I did in the last game. Go ahead and repeat your trade route. France, Egypt, Congo, Brazil, Russia, Rome. Who am I missing? Saladin. I'm not trading with Saladin. God, this... All right. I do not miss the old way of having to do this. Even a little bit, where you had to check each player and look through your trade routes. Okay, there's Cristo Redentor. That's a big deal, right? Because now if I go over to my seaside resorts, also we have electricity, so we have the power plant. We do want to get the power plant in the capital eventually. Now these are generating 8 tourism per turn, which is fantastic. Wait till you see how they finished. Which remember, by the way, is getting doubled against our players. So it went from generating 4 base tourism multiplied by 2 through modifiers to 8. Now it's 8 multiplied by 2 to 16. So really, really good there. Harvest a cat, you chill out there. Boom, seaside resort, excellent, delete. Get rid of this, plant of woods here. I don't know how I have troops on the Egyptian border. It's literally like 3 scouts, dude. All right, we have capitalism. Plant that seaside resort right there. Move in here, plant the woods. Delete that pin. I've got 10 envoys. What do we do with them? I suppose we'll take back Kumasi and Mohenjo-Daro. And I've got 4 to spend. Let's do Mogadishu. Well, not that it matters. Go ahead and repeat your trade route. Right, I'm not trading with Saladin. That's actually an important mistake to correct. Right, plant woods, plant seaside, buy tile. Looks like some of our open borders just ran out. Let's make sure that we continue to maintain those open borders deals. Super, super important. It may only be a 25% bonus, but it's a 25% bonus, right? It's a what is it? A 5 for 4 deal, right? That's a good deal. All right, let's make the Giga Scout. Scout Army. Anyone ever seen a Scout Army? Is that a thing people have seen before? Curious. Seaside resorts are starting to come down. We're up over 200 tourism per turn. But we're 200 tourism per turn a lot sooner with a lot more multipliers than we were in the previous game. At least that's how it feels to me. Okay, seaside resort and seaside resort. Boom, boom. It's all coming down. Claim a great person, another great rider. You plop in over there. Builder, builder, builder. Power plant, broadcast center, Ruhr Valley. Go and get me a builder. Also, I need to take like all of the productive tiles. Plant a little forest. You need to trade with Medina. So now I should have trade routes with every player. I got 37 tourists. Every single enemy player, I have 75% boost for trade route and 25% for open borders, which means we're in the kill zone. Delete the pins. These ones will come after the Eiffel Tower, although I could maybe get a couple sooner, but you know, it's not important. So all my gold should be going towards settlers right now. There we go, a writer. Thank you for the great work of writing. I think I could plant a woods here just to get the seaside resorts down. There's no harm in that. Nuclear program is research. We don't care about that. We just care about getting these seaside resorts down. I don't think I can make one there. You could go help over here. Excellent. Starting to look like great tourism flow. We're up over 300 tourism per turn. We're about to get computers for the 100% tourism boost across our empire. Harvest this, pop up there, delete that mine. We want to get this tiles appeal up. So one for the woods. Delete that pin. You head over east. Totalitarianism has been researched. We don't really care about that. Drop down that fancy seaside resort. Making 16 generating 16 tourism per turn now. Look at that. 16 tourism per turn. Okay, so we're up to 32 tourism per turn, effective per enemy player. Yep. Yippers. Yippers. That is how good they are. Claim a great artist. We got another builder over here. I don't think well, do we need room for great works of art? Is the question. No, we don't. We have one. Probably use another art museum. How much for a settler? Oh, not that much. Woods here, that's up to a 6. This thing should be cranking out. 24 tourism per turn. That feels juicy. Chopping out builders. Boom, boom, boom. Improving these luxuries. Chopping out builders. Seaside resort here. And we want to break this mine and put a seaside resort there as well. So he kind of settled where I wanted to, which means I have to renegotiate my settlement to here, which is fine. We finally have some room for some great works. That feels good. I could buy this tile down here and get myself another seaside resort in this area. There's class struggle, unlocking communism, but again, we don't really care about that. That's not in our parameters for victory, is to care about that. Our parameters of victory are very, very stringent. It's all about getting these seaside resorts up. Boom, settle the city right here. Step 1 tile to the left, plant that woods. We're gonna harvest this tile by buying that. We may as well get that +3 harbor going, but it's not our priority. Builders instead. Harvest this, allows us to work a few tiles. Food and production is our goal. Drop another great work in there. We're up over 700 tourism per turn. Plant the woods. A couple of seaside resorts are going to pop down there now. Apologies, I will look elsewhere in the future to settle. I promise you. It's not right now, because I'm on the verge of victory, dude. In fact, I just won the game. Yeah, congratulations, me. We won the game. Sick as hell. So let's just let the turn tick over. Quickly before we go, I don't know if these extra settlements were necessary for the tourism, but they were effective in general. The 762 tourism. I think maybe the broadcast center was a mistake. And I think maybe I should have gone for the archaeological museums. I think the harbors were the right play, though. The serious amount of gold that I earned from those was insane. I think rushing for online communities is the right play. Now I'm curious to see if you guys can beat this, what I would consider to be a slightly more optimal playthrough. It definitely felt more optimal this time. So there's the victory. We all know what that looks like. Let's have a look at the ranking. So buildings constructed, not bad. Cities founded. I founded a lot more cities a lot quicker this game. I built a lot more districts a lot quicker this game. I earned a lot more great people a lot quicker. I got more player culture. No faith this time. No gold, really. Well, decent science, actually, I would contend. A decent score. Did not found a religion. I built a wonder. Let's go to the main menu and see how we did. So I gotta go to additional content, Hall of Fame. Okay, we shaved about 23 turns off of it. I think I could shave another 10 turns off that if I optimized a few things. Really, the science. I think the science was actually key because it's one of those weird things where actually getting a lot of science helps you win a tourism victory sooner. But I think that's me more or less done with the Age of Abundance challenge. I am curious to see how well you guys did. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!